All right, hello, everyone, it's silverkyle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Avengers by Jonathan Hickman, Volume 1 Omnibus, which is the reprint that we just got here in February of 2023. And honestly, Marvel has been doing a really good job of putting out a lot of Jonathan Hickman omnibus formats. I mean, we got the reprints for Fantastic Four 1 and 2 last year. We're getting Avengers 1 and 2 is coming out this spring, I think in May, I believe. We just got last year as well his X-Men run, which he had just finished writing essentially, and we got it in omnibus format right away, so that's always exciting. They've just been doing a really good job with putting out a lot of Hickman stuff, so I do like it when they do that, especially because I've heard so many people like to do full reads of all his material. I think we're getting another one. What is it? There's another reprint that I think that we're getting for Hickman later this year that I'm going to have to get, and I can't remember what it's called, so forgive me for that, but there is something else for Hickman that's coming out later this year. Now, before we talk about what's included in here, I just want to take a second and talk about the spine, because for Volume 1, we're getting this A here, and Volume 2, in the original printing, you got the A, the symbol for Avengers, and they kind of went back and you got the rest of the A in Volume 2. Now, it seems as though, because I've seen Omar do an overview for this, and he has Volume 2 already, the reprint. And for his copy, now this might not actually be everybody's copy, but it looks like the A won't be fully aligned. You're going to see part of this as well. Like this part is already going to be part of there, so you're not getting the actual full transition, so it's not going to look the greatest. And I mean, if that's the case, that's just whoever's in charge of the spines at Marvel, it just doesn't care, which is just unfortunate. I don't like saying bad things about this because I love the omnibus format. I love Marvel Comics. I love all this material. It's just that when we kind of see that, you know, these are premium books that we're paying a good amount of money for. It's for collectors, and we care about stuff like this. So I hope it's maybe just Omar's copy, and you know they're going to fix it by the time that it comes out. I mean, if they've already made everything and it's all like that, I can't see them doing a recall, but just something I'd throw out there. Anyway, let's dive into some more fun stuff. So 125 in the US, 156.25 in Canada. I think I got this for 110 from indigo.ca. Normally I get these a little bit earlier, but I ended up getting this one in the Fantastic Four by Byrne Volume 2, and that one came out January 24th, so I don't know why I got that one so late. But anyway, let's dive into what this collects. So this includes Avengers from 2012, right after the Bendis run, which I was collecting. That's when I had first gotten back into comics after, I don't know, 10 years or something, was during the Bendis run. So we've got 1 to 23 for Avengers. We also have New Avengers 1 to 12, Free Comic Book Day 2013, Infinity #1, Infinity 1 to 6, Infinity Against the Tide, Infinite Comic 1 to 2, Astonishing Tales, Mojo World 1 to 6, and material from Shang-Chi Master of Kung Fu #1. So, like I said, this I'm really happy to still have, because it's Hickman. I've heard so many good things about people reading, like having a Hickman readathon, and now that we have X-Men as well, I don't know how well X-Men would necessarily go with everything else, because I feel like this was all leading towards the 2015 Secret Wars. So we got the flaps. Let's take out the flaps, actually. Whereas X-Men, I don't think, from what I've read, really tied into a bunch of other stuff. But granted, I haven't read a lot of his other material. So the flaps, we've got everything from the creators here on the right-hand side, and a little bit about the story on the left. It is 1,192 pages. We'll take a look at... yeah, not the most fun. Like, the back is just plain white. That's not bad. I wish they would have done something a little bit more fun with the back. Granted, this seems very Hickman-like from his previous omnibus that I've seen, and I was reading his X-Men and collecting them in single issues, and it's just that he's a different kind of storyteller. So I just have to state this right away. This is iMac. Where is it? There it is. iMac. I will say that it's a better built in terms of the spine and in terms of the eye that we're going to be seeing in a little while, but you are going to be getting bleed through. You are going to be getting some pages that are glossy, some pages that are that kind of dusty feel. It's just unfortunate. That's what we get with iMac. I hope that eventually Marvel just decides to cancel whatever contract that they have with them. I'm being very negative and I don't want to be. I'm very still happy to have this. I just have to mention those things because I know that a lot of people do care about that too. So we got the creators here, kind of which issues that they all worked on. And then we dive right into it. And with Hickman, he's going to be going with the story in chronological order for the most part that I remember. But you're not really going to know exactly which issue that you're on while you're reading it from what I've seen before. And as you can see, there is bleed. Well, I mean, this is the beginning, so it's not that important. But there is going to be bleed through every once in a while when you have a very light color. You can kind of see in the background there. I think is that not? Yeah. So if you see that little circle, you can kind of see it right there. So whenever there's not a lot of color, dark colors, you will potentially get bleed through. But then you see here, I don't really see much except for maybe in the rays right there. And another nice thing that he does, though, is he includes who's going to be in the issues. I kind of like that. That's kind of fun. He did that with the X-Men, I feel. But nothing here. That's good. I do like seeing the roster and who you're going to be dealing with. Avengers World. There's a bunch of different artists that work on this, and I mean, this, I don't know how I feel about this. This looks like a very old school Hulk. Like, this looks like 60s Hulk. I haven't really seen him look like a monster like that very often in more recent times. And there's something here about this specific image where Thor kind of looks weird. His head looks too big for the rest of his body. It's not very often. Like, I like a lot of the other imagery here, but it's just that those few pictures that seem kind of off to me. But it changes through relatively fast between different artists that are going to be working on this. So the art does change as we go along. So that is something that I've always wanted to do, is a complete Hickman read-a-thon. I've heard he's one of the, and I don't know, but he's the only person that I've heard people actually do an entire read-a-thon for. I don't know if there's other creators that people go and read from the beginning until the end, because they're all kind of related, and this does lead into I think it's the 2015 version of Secret Wars, which has all the multiverses. It's a crazy big event. I think it's only 7 issues, if I remember correctly. Just kind of going through. As I was saying, though, with this, even though it is iMac, it opens up quite nicely. It lays flat. There's no issues there. That's a really nice suit. I like that suit, which is, I think, we get from his run of Fantastic Four. I just like the silver look. I'm called Silver Kyle, so this makes sense. That's a cool shot too. I like that. And this was 2012, so we've got Thanos here. We've got like a lot of the Avengers that were part of the Avengers movie, like we saw earlier: Hulk, Thor, Captain America, Iron Man. We have Black Panther here, who eventually shows up in the MCU. Lots of nice art here near the end here. All right, let's just go to the end to kind of see the extras. Is that might not be extras. That might actually be an issue right there. I feel like it is. Yeah, I don't think that we got any actual extras here. yeah, it kind of just ends, which seems about right. So there you have it. We'll just quickly go to the middle so I can show you the eye. That is very apparent. And we'll be right back. Okay, so we're mobile now, and this is about halfway through, and this is the eye that we are dealing with. So it's not bad. I'm pretty happy with this for like almost 1,200 pages. I've seen a lot worse. Granted, the paper quality, or the paper, is rather thin, because this is a relatively small omnibus, considering it's 1,200 pages. Like, I expected it to be a lot bigger than that. But anyway, that's what we get with Avengers by Jonathan Hickman, Volume 1 Omnibus. Thank you all for watching. You have been bearded in. Beardage!